Quick note before we start today's episode, we had a little bit of a tech problem. My microphone wasn't working properly. So at the beginning, or maybe the first half of the episode, you might hear me a little bit in and out. The volume might be a little bit low, but then throughout the episode, it fixes itself. So thank you so much for your patience. We appreciate you and enjoy today's episode. See ya.
Hey, I'm Luis, and welcome to the Content is Profit podcast.
Here, you're going to get the insights, accountability, and drive to create consistently and increase revenue.
You'll hear from top entrepreneurs, creators, and anything and everything you need to know about content. All this while having a good time.
All this podcast is simple, entertain, educate, and turn your content into profit.
That's right. FONZI, welcome back. Can you talk again? I think the mic was off.
I'm talking. I cannot hear myself, but I'm pretty sure the software can. So let's keep rolling with it. If there's no episode, because my voice wasn't there, I'll just flip it and it'll just be you talking by yourself.
It'll be just me talking about myself. So
talking to your imaginary friend.
Yes. So we said that obviously we were coming from Orlando last night. We were at an event called Podfest. It was our third event in person. We've been there probably involved 4 or 5 times in different occasions. But we had a keynote that we did, a keynote session that we did Saturday morning, and then on Friday we did a panel about social audio. So a couple of good things, and if you want to know more information, let us know about the things that we shared there. But thank you for everybody that attended. Thank you for everybody that met us and had a conversation with us at the event. We had a great time.
Yeah, I was actually going to say there's actually going to be a training later on this week, potentially either Thursday or Friday. So just send us at DM at BIZBROS. We're going to be talking about how to start your pipeline platform in less than 90 days, potentially 30, depending on how fast you work.
Ooh, baby.
And fill your pipeline with 5 figures or more deal opportunities. Plus, we're going to teach you how to leverage all that content you're creating on that platform so you can build your audience. That goes hand in hand with what we talked about during Podfest, but we decided to make it a little bit bigger and do a longer training. We're going to be invited everybody that was at Podfest. There's an app with everybody in there. We're going to invite them. We're going to invite the community from Content is Profit, big Content is Profit fam, and we're inviting you that are listening right now. So if you want to attend that training, either Thursday or Friday, we're still debating on the date. Make sure you send us a DM at BIZBROS. Just say training, and we'll send you all the information.
That's right. So obviously after every single event, we love to debrief. There's obviously lessons, not only in the content itself, but the event and the experience, right? So that's what this episode is going to be for. There's going to be, FONZI's going to bring a couple lessons, and I'm going to bring a couple lessons. They might or might not be about the content itself, but every single time that we go, there's so much gold that comes out of this event in many ways, right? From relationships all the way to things that we learn. And hopefully it can help you move that needle forward. So, FONZI, you want to get started?
Well,
or is it me?
The note says your lesson first.
Sounds good. Okay, well, I'll go first. So for me, the number one, and I think that was a big focus for us this event, is relationships first. Always, right? So there's this conference specifically was the one that kickstarted our podcasting journey. We went there for the first time 3 years ago in January 2020, before the craziness even happened, and we were considering maybe a platform like this, but we're still, playing with different types of how do we actually create content. And we went as photographers of one of the speakers, and we started testing our message with everybody there. The idea was to sell the service that we actually do now to podcasters. And the feedback was great on the product. It was not a market fit for the type of clients that were there at the time, but we also got super inspired to go create.
A little tangent here. I remember we had a coach back in the day that he used to say, let people vote with their wallets. So on that event, we went and we asked them, hey, are you interested in this service? And, in paper, it can sound super nice. And people are like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. But there's no commitment whatsoever, right? There's not really an ask for them to actually prove if it is a viable idea. It is a viable idea when there is an exchange of value, right? You're giving them the service and they're giving you money. So that's how you get to test those ideas. Right?
That's right.
So let people vote with their wallets. That's why we're saying it wasn't really a market fit at that moment. because everybody was like, yes, this is amazing. And then when we created the service and we started pitching it to a very specific audience that we have talked to, they were like, oh, well, you know, I don't have the cash flow to invest in this at the moment. And we're like, but you said you were very interested. So let people vote with their wallets.
That's right. So obviously, you know, lots has changed in the last 3 years. So we went there, and to be honest, we didn't really attend many sessions. We were out in the halls, networking, talking, catching up with people, and having awesome conversations based on the frameworks that we've been sharing, the things that we've been doing. We started recording different kind of content that you'll see in a bit. Hopefully we can get to produce it fast. But we're experimenting with creation methods and production methods, and we're just engaging in a ton of awesome conversations that were related to what we do and what we want to do in the future. So lots of it. Also, we were in the halls and we were talking with somebody, and they're like, hey guys, let me introduce you to this somebody else, right? Hey, let me introduce you to this person because they have an amazing business, and maybe you guys can connect, and you guys can be a big help, or maybe they can help you in the business. So everything that we've done so far that has been incredibly positive personally, in our personal relationships, but also for the business, comes from situations like this, right? So there's my personal opinion is that it is really okay to be there and for the content itself, right? If it's something that you can apply. A big mistake that we made in the past has been like we attended all the sessions and we just ended more confused after that event because we're like, we see opportunity everywhere. So what's the intention that you set for us this time was, hey, let's focus on the relationships. There's been a lot of people that we haven't seen in a long time. We want to just go hang out, talk to them, gather feedback as well. And then on top of that, that is obviously helping the business. So for me, that was a big lesson. Sometimes perfect. Go to the sessions that apply to your business and then grab maybe one or two things that you go implement, but develop those relationships in person while you're at that event.
Yeah, I think, I can hear myself now.
Oh.
I think I found it. I was like messing with that stuff. Oof, I wonder if it's going to be in the audio now. Well, if not, it's okay. We'll just publish like half the episode. But that being said, I think it also talks about, when you go to these events and you see these relationships that you've connected with previously, it actually talks about your processes on building those relationships previous to those events and your process to nurture those relationships. Because we went there and all the people are like, hey, Luis and Luis, how are you guys doing? And they know what we're doing. They know what we're up to. And then if they, walk or they're talking to somebody that they see a fit to introduce them to us, they call us and they introduce them. So I think that also it's pretty important, right? Like keep your relationships, not just wait for the event to see them and catch up to everybody. Like, sure, of course you want to go and catch up with everybody, but what is the objective? At the end of the day, the objective is let's grow the business, let's serve more people. And if more people are informed of what you do, you keep them up to date with what you're doing and how you guys are growing and what the projects are, right? What are the new products that you're using to, help people, then they can also be a voice in these events because you're coming in and you're not just talking about, hey, let's catch up. It's more of like, awesome, you know what? We're actually looking for this. And they can tell you we're looking for this. And now you are eyes and ears for them as well. So
yeah.
I think it's a good exchange in there.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear, what do you do on events, right? For us has been a mix of learning and developing those relationships, right? To this one specifically, we leaned a lot in relationships, but we would love to hear, what are you doing? What is something that you've done in an event that has helped you? Send us a message on social media at BIZBROS Go.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my takeaway, you kind of like mentioned a little bit, but it's pretty much, you already know what to do. Most information you already know. And it's about action. Again, I think it's really cool that you can go and sit down, and it really depends obviously on the stage of the journey that you're at, but you will be surprised. Even because most people think about the problems that they need to solve 10 steps ahead, and they don't focus on the problem they need to solve in the next step, right? And usually that next step problem that they need to solve, they already have a solution. They already know what to do. All they need to do is focus and take action, right? So some of the keynotes that we went in, we actually were listening to them and we're like, wow, like I thought obviously they got us with the hook, but then when we're listening to it, like this is the same principles and foundations that like everything else. Like we already know this. We just need to focus and execute. So stay focused, obviously, on your lane, but at the same time, right? Like take action, focus on action. And if you go there, my recommendation is to focus on what is one takeaway, just one thing that you can implement immediately after leaving the conference or even during the conference. So then it can move the needle forward for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think those events, again, they're great, but at the same time, they can be a huge distraction in some cases.
Yeah, which was the mistakes that we did at the beginning of those events, right? We'll come back with a notebook full of notes and be like, okay, here are the 40 things that we're going to try to do. And then, you don't do them.
Yeah. So before we keep going with the next takeaway from my brother, quick announcement and reminder, we already shared this at the beginning of the episode, but on Thursday or Friday, we're going to have a new training. Actually, this training is from the keynote that we put together for Podfest. Actually, my brother did a great job. He's the one that put it all together.
Thank you.
And he was crushing it in there. I was just standing and making funny comments. But the training is going to be about how to start your pipeline platform in less than 90 days. It can even be in 30 days, right? It depends on how fast you take action. And it's going to help you fill your pipeline with 5+ figure opportunities, right? So again, you want to fill your pipeline with deal opportunities, and at the same time, you want to publish so you can create art, right? Authority, relevancy, and trust. This is the training for you. We're also going to be helping you and teaching you how to leverage that content then to build your audience. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1.
That's right.
Those are the two things we've done in the last 5 years
that everybody keep asking, and we're like,
is how to build the pipeline platform, right? So it is a platform, not necessarily has to be a podcast. Most people like a podcast, right? Like us, but it's how do you build the platform like Content is Profit that is driving new deals to your business. So specifically, service providers, coaches, consultants, people that have high ticket products, lifetime value of their customers can be 10K, 20K plus. This is perfect for you because a lot of people have a challenge to get in the doors of the decision makers. And the best way to bring those people to your world is through a platform, right? Through collaboration. So invite them to your platform that we're going to be building together in that training, right? Build rapport with them and then learn how to transition that into a sales opportunity. So again, that is going to be either Thursday or Friday. But if you're interested, just send us a message at BIZBROS Co. on Facebook or Instagram. Just mention the word training and we will give you all the deets.
Yeah. All right. My second lesson here was attending sessions that are not exactly about what you do. And, I remember listening to somebody like in a different conference, and they were saying how important is for you, either as a creator, as a business owner, to attend events that are not related to the thing that you do. So for example, like if we do work on content, how cool would it be to just go to a car conference, for example, right? Just something, a different topic. And what happens is you start listening through a different lens, and there's people that are teaching stuff through a different lens. And then you can apply those things to your own business, and it will bring a level of differentiation that is amazing. But here's the deal. Even if you attend an event that is related to your business and your topics, there's still going to be some sessions in there that are a little bit different, right? And for us, our specific example on this event was Mike, one of our previous or future guests in the show. We actually were in his show. He has a New Jersey specific platform that he goes to these amazing businesses, right? And he established a relationship. So even if it's a podcast platform, the format and the way that he does it and he runs it is very, very different, right? So obviously we first attended it because we were so curious to see how he evolved from our interview. And then also because it was one of the original presentations that we saw that were like, these are very different than everything else. And to our surprise, the second, like during the 5 seconds that we were there listening to Mike, all these ideas start flooding to our heads. And Fonzie was sitting like 2 rows behind me. I'm there taking notes. I'm like turning around. I'm like, not waiting to share with Fonzie things that we can implement inside of our business, right? And these amazing flood of ideas that also apply to what we do, right? Relating it to what Fonzie said, what are the 2 steps that you can take to move the needle forward? it basically made a lot of sense once we saw it from a different perspective. So I encourage every single one, like look at the sessions on the event that you go, or even at different events, and be like, this is something that sounds so out of my zone, out of my comfort zone, out of my topic. Let me go to that one and see what's up. And keep your eyes open, your mind open, and you'll see that there might be one or two things that are going to allow you to do things very differently, and it's going to differentiate yourself from everybody else.
Yeah. And my last takeaway is community is just massive. You know, I mean, Podfest, this was the 10th year Podfest has done their event, and the community just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But even more importantly than size is how tight this community is. Like we've been seeing a lot of the same people come over and over and over every single year. And for me, that was a huge takeaway, right? It's like, hey, like the community can either make it or break it for newcomers, right? People that are getting into the space and they're coming to Podfest for the very first time. They get to network with all these people, and guess what? If it's not the right fit, if you don't have the right community in place, they're just going to be driving the other people away. So be jealous about the community that you are curating for your business, right? Like, are these people A players as well that want to be part of the community? They want to give back. They want to help each other. And at the same time, when there's somebody new, are they welcoming? Are they helping them succeed as well? So I think that was a huge takeaway. Again, I feel like we are now part of that community. Yeah. After a few years that we've been there, back and forth, but it always surprised me, right? Like how this community receives you with open arms, and every time also we just keep meeting new people, and it's surprising. I think it's amazing. Podfest, I think, is here to stay. They're gonna keep growing, keep curating this community, and make it tighter and tighter. And you can do the same with your business, right? Does it take intention? Yes. Does it take an effort? Absolutely, 100%. But whatever you see, you're going to notice that community is actually one of the main trends that is popping out, right? Because now more than ever, we have the possibility to curate and facilitate communities. Actually, this big brand of consulting, McKinsey, right? They actually publish a report on community, how community is like the future of businesses. So you're still early to develop your own community and to build it. You know, we're the first one to raise our hands. Can we do better with our community? 100%, right? We've started curating a little bit, but we can do 100% better on facilitating that community for their improvement, right? With resources, and then for them to become, I guess, advocates of the Contents Profit family.
Sounds good. All right. I think that's good for the episode. If you have any other takeaways from events that you have attended, if you were also at Podfest and did not see us for any reason, send me a message and we'll connect. We'd love to do it. We're actually going to be reaching out to a ton of people and connecting, inviting them to obviously the training that we have on Thursday or Friday. So I'm super stoked. I love every time that we go to events. I am not going to lie. I am exhausted physically, not only for the event, but also from yesterday, the 12 miles and driving in the middle of the night.
I think more exhausted from the trip after the event, right? The park.
Katie was like, but why do you need to sleep for like 20 minutes? I'm like, hey, power nap 100%. Like, you don't understand. We were like 3-day event mode, and before that was, the week in prep for the event. So not a lot of rest, but I'm excited to continue the conversation. You guys will be seeing some new content coming from us. And man.
Yeah, but bonus takeaway, include karaoke in your community. It just brings people together. It's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. All right. With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Contents Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow the show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BIZBROS Co.
That is right. And don't forget to join us this Thursday or Friday on how to start your pipeline platform in less than 90 days and fill your pipeline with 5-figure plus deal opportunities. All right, guys. See you there.
Bye, guys.